Hi, Living It Out writers. This is Andy Rechtenwald. Andy actually put together the outline this week, and so he is going to talk through days, but I wanted to start with a huge thank you for serving. We could not do what we do without you, and so I appreciate you just jumping in. And we have kind of a different and exciting week because we're going to sit pretty firmly in the John reading plan. In fact, Andy is going to take Monday, and that's really coming off of the message, but from there we're going to sit in the John reading plan. So we have a couple tips around that. The first is that you should definitely read the verses first on the day and then look at the content. A lot of times, because our main points are coming off of verses, or we're starting with a main point and coming into verses, but this is the opposite. We're really starting at verses in order to get you to your big point. So read the verses first. That'll help give you context for what's happening and with the resources that you've been given. And then the other thing to consider is that when you're setting up context, a lot of times, because this is again where you're in a lane, like you got to stay in your lane, man. You're in John, 9 or 10 or whatever it is. And so you don't want to come out of that lane and set some big context on Thursday. Andy I think will address this. You're in Luke on Monday, and so Tuesday you can do a broad stroke of John to set the context, but then the other days you really need to pick up with where did we leave off from yesterday, what's happened in the meantime, or just somehow again plant their feet in where they are. So those are our two tips for preparation, and then Andy's going to talk through the days and what you can expect for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those are your options for this week.
Yeah. So for Tuesday in particular, we'll start there, I guess.
We're scrolling. You know how this goes.
A little bit.
Scroll.
This is going to be the first part of the John reading plan. So obviously, as Marna mentioned, the first day will be pulled off of Ben's talk. The second day, actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday really aren't related that much to Ben's talk. I'm sure there's going to be some overlap there, but your focal point is really to look at the text, the scripture, and then find the point in there. And we've kind of outlined some of that for you here. So your big point Tuesday is that Jesus is our protector and we're his followers. So the tension is, do we actually see him that way? Do we attempt to follow him and trust that he's going to protect us through that process? And so we've put some resources there to explain some of the words that are used in the text there for you. But you're going to be in John 10, 1 through 5, and he's going to be talking about a shepherd's role in protecting his sheep and what the sheep's role is. And so really looking at those two roles is going to be pivotal for the person who writes on Tuesday.
Yeah, remember, that big point is still going to help you. So even though you're coming into the verses first, you should be able to look at that big point and look at those resources and go, oh, okay, shepherd, there's sheepfold, there's sheep, this all, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So
then you're going to move into Wednesday, and Wednesday, the big point is we have to follow Jesus for who he is and not necessarily who we want him to be. And this is huge. We actually just had a huge conversation with the team that helps Ben kind of put together the series, and you're going to be in John 12, 30 through 36a, and there's a little verse in there, verse 34, where you see the people they expected something out of Jesus that he wasn't necessarily going to do. And all of us have that. All of us have that in us where we're going, I thought Jesus was going to be this for me or provide this for me, when in reality, maybe not something that he promised. And so that's going to be kind of the tension we want to hit on with our readers for that particular day, is we have to look at Jesus for who he really is and not for who we really want him to be.
Absolutely.
Thursday, then, you will see the followers of Jesus, once, because we're sheep, this is still connected a little bit to the previous days, we serve people. That's what we do. So we're going to be there in John 13, and you're going to see Jesus wash his disciples' feet. And the interaction with Peter there is huge. And so you really want to capture there what our role is as believers, is to go out and serve people the way that Jesus did.
And you're going to build Thursday?
Yes.
Are you building Thursday?
Yep.
Okay, so that's good for you all to know, again, because when you're coming into Friday, if you're doing Friday, you need to know where Andy left off. So
yep, it's going to be all go out and serve. And so then for Friday, you'll pick it up. And this is kind of related, but I'm sure you'll figure out a great transition there. The big point here is our future place gives us current perspective. And so we're really hitting on how believers need to know that no matter what happens here on earth, something much greater is waiting in heaven. You'll be in John 14, 1 through 6, where he talks about how he's going to go, Jesus says he's going to go prepare a place for us. And I've put a link in there to a talk from a guy named Tommy Green. He spoke at a school that the school I'm going to right now. And it's all about how he takes that passage and what he did with it, and it's really, really cool. So if you have the time, I would strongly suggest reading that, because that resource is going to be huge for that day.
Yeah, just go ahead and watch it. I think all of us should watch
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
It's a terrific resource, and I think it's great on Friday how verse 6 says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And so you can even pull back to, this is who Jesus says that he is, and he's so much greater than what we want him to be. So, so the other thing I wanted to update you on as a team is that Joanna is going to take a step back from serving for a little bit. They're moving, all sorts of fun stuff are happening, but she's going to come back in the fall. She's like, don't forget me. I will be back in September or October. So if you connect with her at all, just please let her know that we miss her, but we're glad that she's able to, I'll call it a sabbatical. So, so let us know if you have questions. The other thing is hit reply all this week. I've got Kristen Watson, who is doing some formatting for us. So it'll be very helpful for you to hit reply all versus it coming to me and she's waiting on me. So thank you so much for serving, for being a part of the Living It Out team. We're so grateful for your time and service. Our best for his glory. Thanks.